Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Motorsport Manager. It's week 55 of the Gaming Decathlon competition. And in this week, we are following up last week's episode where we made the coup of the century, signing Max Verstappen, going alongside Colton Herta. We have two 5-star racers now. Max Verstappen was second place in the points. And after we were able to flatter him after one of the races, we were able to steal him away and sign him to join us just in time for last race. Some big news, though, as there has been a whirlwind of changes. So, Nick de Vries out, Max Verstappen in, and then Margasov leaves Mercedes to head to Red Bull to replace Max Verstappen. Same day. We head to the race weekend 2 days later, where Norris wins the German Grand Prix. And the same day, before the day even comes to an end, after the race, Mick Schumacher leaves Ferrari to head to Mercedes, to the now vacant seat that Margasov left. His seat is snatched up by Joseph Newgarden from Toro Rosso. Toro Rosso signed Savanin, but they promoted from within, and Savanin actually goes to reserve driver. And then, just 2 weeks after joining us, Will Buxton gives an exclusive saying that Max Verstappen wants to leave the team already. We've got a year and a half on the contract, and he does appear to be happy. Morale very high. So we'll see if that actually is a thing or not. But quick glance at the teams here. Excuse me. So Haas, last place in the constructors, ranked 10th overall. You can see their drivers not so strong, their car not strong, and that's why they're often at the back. Renault has a relatively weak car, but they've got really good drivers in George Russell and Nakashita. So they have been very competitive like us. They also have a really good headquarters, which you can see kind of the top, 7 teams all have really good headquarters. We are the one that is very distant behind on that. McLaren, Van Dorn, Marilinen, both really good drivers and a pretty good car. That's why it's been difficult to beat McLaren in races. The Williams team have an okay car, but they also have some really good drivers in Sainz and Harrell. Harrell suffering a little bit right now. Toro Rosso, Giovinazzi. And here's where that promotion. So Savanin is signed, and they actually promote Simsel. And the Polish driver here is actually worse than Savanin, so we'll see if that actually sticks. But they've got mid-tier drivers and a mid-tier car. So even though they are quite a bit better than us car-wise, we've been competitive with them. Force India, good drivers, bad car. Here's Ferrari. You can see just how strong they are. I mean, their reserve driver, De Vesa, is still one of the best. Red Bull, really, really good car, second best. But now their driver lineup is quite weak. But it's not because they lost Verstappen. Margasov not quite as good. But it's Perez. I mean, just see how much lower Perez is at age 33. His ability level's starting to drop off here pretty quickly. But Margasov at 20 is going to stay good for a long time. And then finally, Mercedes in the top, Lando Norris and Mick Schumacher. Wow, 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 wow. Bessis got the ride last time out. The reserve driver goes back to the reserve spot this time. Bonington. Be nice to get my hands on a race mechanic like that, but they've got the best car. They and myself have the best drivers. They're right there in the headquarters, 4.5 stars. Not staff so much, or sponsors, but they also have the best pit crew, so you can see why Mercedes, very, very competitive. So next up, we are heading to Guildford, as in we are heading to England. And let's go for 10th or above here on the bonus. Oof, ouch, that's going to hurt. Alright, well, we need qualifying sets and one for practice. Let's go back to the mail for a second and let's see. Preview. Nope, that's the roundup. There we go. Report on the upcoming race. 23 lapper. And the report is good for tire wear. Meaning we probably don't have to go on the mediums. We could probably get away with the softs, but we definitely do want a one-stopper. So, I think we're only going to have maybe 2 set of mediums. 4 sets of softs. Yeah, that gives me 1 to practice on. That gives me 3 for the race. That's actually more than I'm going to need. It's the super softs that actually could. I will never use more than 3, right? If I'm 2 for the race, 1 for practice. So at this point, I'm either taking an extra medium so I can run 1 in practice and 2 for the race and go the whole distance, or another set of super softs so I actually have 1 available for the race. Or technically a second, as I would have just 1 in qualifying if... tough choice, tough choice. 23 laps, 3-mile course. I don't know how long they're going to last until I actually get to practice. I don't think the super softs are going to last. I think we're going to end up on the softs, and it could be the mediums, but we'll take the super softs. Alright. We started to mix things up a little bit as Verstappen is getting some better parts onto his car, like here, the front wing. Verstappen's got the better. And here, he's got the better rear wing. So the better wings Okay, so it's round 10 of 19. We are now past halfway through our first season at the Formula One level. And it's a tight competition. But now with 2 of the best drivers on the grid and a car that's steadily improving, though still very much in the back of the grid, I'm starting to eke out some points after, 5 straight races without a point? We finally get 2 in a row here. Where we're starting to score again. And I think we should be able to start scoring a little bit more consistently. We might not move up from the 8th place where we're at now, but the main point is not getting relegated, and it is so tight this season. Really, really incredibly tight. So now I have 2 drivers with feedback of 20, and that's going to make our setup so much quicker, so much easier. You see either car could be. It's damp for now. It's going to dry out at about 8 minutes. Let's take care of the weight stripping, but otherwise it looks like we are ready to go. Alright, let's see. Bring the engine down a notch. We can bring the suspension down a notch. Alright, so here it is going out on qualifying trim and intermediates. Max going out qualifying trim, so we're gonna take care of that one first apparently. And let's go ahead and attack, get around that a little bit faster. When we bring them back in. Sorry, I've been sick for weeks now. It's just not going away, especially the cough. It's lingering pretty bad. Okay, 70% downforce is pretty close. Handling is off by a mile. Now I'm gonna hesitate a second and see what do we get here. Pour and pour. We don't know which way to go. We're going to push towards top speed a bit. Not a ton. Handling, let's go towards the understeer. And downforce. Okay, we'll give those all a chance. Okay, qualifying trim level 1, intermediates level 1. Oh, nice. We went the right direction on everything. Pretty much guessing. Look at that. Jumped to 94%. So, we need a little bit more. And we've nailed the speed balance. We've gone from very poor to good. Now, the thing is, have we gone past or not far enough? I'm guessing we have not gone far enough. So we'll take that. Three greats here. 95%. So we go a little further, and these are both close. So let's try a little bit more. Alright, so we follow Herda as he comes around, speed it up, slow it down in the pits. Under 15 minutes left in the session, and there you go, triple excellent for Colton Herda, 99%. Wow, that was fast that we figured that out. Okay, so you're gonna go out for 3 laps. We'll get you out there while we're still on intermediates. We'll at least get that level 2. But it looks like it's going to be dry from here on out. So he's not actually going to stay out long. We're going to go just long enough to get that level 2. Max has an adjustment still to make. So Max at 96% is going to continue trying to tweak this out, and we might have gone past it there, and we might still be short here, so we're going to add just that little more. 17.1. This isn't going to happen. Handling, we're going to leave it where it is. And we're going to go ahead and switch your tires now. Here we go. 23 laps was the distance, which means we would get 7 on the supers. We're going to get 11 or 12 on the softs, which means we can probably make a one-stopper work on the softs if we conserve on one of the stints. So we can go the whole race on softs, which means we need the softs to get ready first. Get the race bonus if we can. We'll get to the super softs. So we're going to get one set of softs out there. Let's just go ahead and heat those up. It'll be pretty quick. He might actually be coming in next lap. Okay, so Max is going to come around. We're going to set bring in. Let's keep an eye on Herda on when we get that level 2, qualifying trim 2 done. And there we go. Let's bring you in. That was a just in case on those intermediates. Alright, and qualifying trim is getting pretty close too, so we're going to switch you to race trim, 12 laps, and softs. We're going to leave him out for a while. We're going to keep an eye on Verstappen, who I already set to bring in. Dang it, I should have left him out for a while and let him run. We went the wrong way on the downforce, so we went too far. Does that mean we were over it here? Probably, which means we need to go to the left edge of the W. Yeah, what about the speed balance? We want to get that back on track. Try this out on the handling. And Max is going to finish off our qualifying trim, yes. So we want 3 laps worth, because that might take more than a lap to get. And you're already on the softs where I want you. Alright, now I've got 2 guys here that I need to push things a little bit more here. Push. There we go. And we're going to run until we are satisfied. Max, we're running until we get the qualifying trim done. 10 minutes left in the session. There we go. And he just passed. Really. Max goes first, but of course he is pushing and others are not. It's practice. But he's done that in the softs with partially used. Sadly, though, he gets that qualifying trim bonus completed right after passing pit lane. So we're going to have to go around a whole extra lap to switch him over to the race trim. Alright, very close now. We made the right move for Max. We got him to 98%. The handling, the only thing that's off, and it's so hard to adjust that without changing the others when it's the only one. So 98%, that's going to have to do it. So qualifying trim is done. We're going to leave that be, set them up for race trim. We're already on the tires we want to get set. Once we have the soft tires all the way to level. You know what? There's 9 minutes. It's one level to go. Let's start the super softs. And we'll let Herda finish these off. Go conserve for now, as your tires are super hot. We'll just go overtake and normal. Why don't you back up? Let's bring those tire temps down quickly. There we go. Gotta keep an eye on the tires. Race trim level 2. Soft tires. Oop, 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 oop. Okay, Herda. Oh, he's right at pit lane. Is it too late? Is it too late? No! Oh, we got it. We got it. Okay, so we're going to put super softs on. Okay, 12 laps. Super softs. Are we dry the rest of the way? Yes, we are. Okay, overtake mode. Go conserve for a little bit there. 4 minutes to go. Now it's just a matter of whether the fuel runs out, and we'll try to get the triple bonus. Race bonus is done. Quali bonus is done. Super soft level 2. 2 minutes to go. Halfway through here. Go back to neutral. Final minute of the session. I think we're going to make it. I think we're going to make it. Fuel's fine. There you go. Level 3 super softs. So, we got a lot done here. We got qualifying and race trim all the way up. We got the super softs and the softs all the way up. And we happen to have the intermediates at level 2 as well, just for good measure. We've got 99%, 98% on the setup. So both cars looking really, really good for the race. On to qualifying. Looking for 10th or above, pick up a couple $100,000. It's not a big cash windfall, and we are just bleeding money with these two drivers now. That is what it's going to take to make sure we stay at this level. We're going to have to cut back on spending here sooner rather than later. But hopefully we'll get the sponsors to come with. Let's see. We are dry now, and it looks like we might be dry throughout. So super softs and qualifying. Sorry. It's been about the worst day for the cough. I've actually had trouble recording here recently because of it. But it hasn't quite been this bad. Alright, Herda's going to go first. We're going to get him right out there and set a lap. We do have both of our sets of tires at our disposal. So we will not cause a problem. Wow, okay, tire temps not coming up at all yet. The brake temps are already there. And a little chicane there. Okay, I think this is supposed to be Maggots and Beckett's here. Oh, overheated. I'm watching the mini-map and not my temperatures, and I ended up hot. Bad setup. That was completely my bad. Let's go ahead and look for some open air for Max, and then we'll get him out on the track here in just a moment. Now will be a good time to pull him out. Okay, I can definitely do better. Herda at the moment is purple for Sector 1, but I don't think that's going to hold. Yeah, he's already down. braking for the chicane. Okay, tight turn, and we accelerate hard. Red. Braking zone. Take it easy. Speed it up. Take it easy. Speed it up. Take it easy. And we gotta speed it up some. Okay. Oh, that's still cold? I thought I was gonna say okay. A lot closer to neutral. We'll see how far off he is. Herta right now is next to last and just barely ahead of Russell in the Renault. But most of the cars that have already finished their lap are the top teams. So these guys at the bottom may not be, but Perez there with current pole for the Red Bull. Argosov still out. Yeah, we're going to go right to the back here. Buchanan at least. Matsushita goes last. We're ahead of him, but only by a couple tenths. And Max goes 13th. Okay, so that was better. That was definitely better. We've got 5.5 minutes left here. The lap takes only just over a minute, so got some time. But I want to get both cars out there, so Herta, let's go ahead and get you going. Second chance on those fresh super softs. And I could still do better than what I did for Max, but I could do much better than what I did for Herta the first time out. So we will get through this first corner. Speed up big time. Speed up. Ease off a bit. Speed up out of the chicane. Ease off. Speed up. Yes. Nice long straightaway here. Ease off. Tires are almost where we want them now. Another little chicane. Okay, we've got it. Tire temp right where we want it. Perfect. Brakes a little overheated. Now that is definitely the best setup we've had. 3 minutes to go. We've got plenty of time to get Max out there, so let's go ahead and sit with Herta for a little bit. Let's go ×2 though. Green in sector 1, just 0.2 of a second down. That's a lot better than the 1.3 that he was behind. 0.8 or thereabouts after sector 2, and we're gonna have to get Max out there soon. And Herta doesn't gain much. Does not gain much. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't change the tires. I caught it in my mind right before the click came out, but the click came out anyway. I was still thinking about Herta and his time. I didn't see whether he went. So Max is going to be where he is because he's on the same tires. Okay, same here for Max, but he's on used tires. Let's just go ahead and speed things up because he's not going to get... Well, he is green so far, actually. But white in sector 2 as the tires start to wear down. He's down to 46% by the end and does not improve his time. So we go 14th and 17th. Herta did not improve his time much on that second run, which was really surprising because he had a terrible first run. And he's still got a slightly better car than Max. So we do not crack the top 10. So no bonus. Okay, so we're looking for softs and race trim. Softs and race trim. And we're going to put the softs on. Got 2 sets for the race. 23 laps to go. We need to get 11 and 12 laps out of them. My estimate is always 1 lap below what it says before you fall off the cliff. So I'm thinking 11 laps is good. 12 is going to be difficult. But I'll take a couple seconds lost there on lap number 12, 2 or 3 seconds lost, to keep it down to just a single pit stop and not having to use the mediums at all in the process. And that gives us a 15% bonus for the entire race being on those tires. And 1 full course caution, full course yellow, will negate the issues with that 1 lap that I've got to cover, but that'll also help everybody else out as well. So I'd rather that not be the case, actually. We're just going to go on high here to start the race. We're going to quickly back off on the tires, as I want to go 12 on the first stint, not the second. I don't want the tires really falling off at the end of the race. I want to still be going a little bit strong. Perez, the first one on the softs, in 6th place. Everybody else around him on supers. Van Dorn. Van Dorn's already on used supers. That's going to hurt him. Siamsol on the mediums. That's going to hurt him. So is Ocon and Russell and Nakashita. So that's good for us that a lot of these cars are on the mediums. They intend to go on a 1-stopper. But they're going to lose a lot of pace. So I like our chances of squeezing into the points. Let's see what we can do. Let's go with Max, who's starting a little bit higher up the grid. 14th. 5 lights are up and out. And we are off and racing. Verstappen, not the greatest start, but he gains 1 and loses 1. Whoever that was that just flew by. Herta is 17th. Verstappen. Herta gets a nice run. Verstappen goes backwards. 3 wide though. Can he get both positions? He does. So he's back up into 14th. Herta is in 13th. So strange one here at the start, but Herta is going really good here on lap number 1 and working his way up the grid. He's looking to the inside of Carlos Sainz here. Sainz has a good car, but in his mid-30s, his ratings have decreased a lot. So with his attributes down, it's a driver who doesn't take full advantage of the car. And we are side by side, both cars. Herta's been side by side for a long time here. I think I need to use a little ERS when I get a chance here to complete the pass. Safety car leaving the garage. Safety car leaving the garage. It's only lap 2. So, no, we are not going to pit. Let's go ahead and go low and low. And, ooh, hey, we got 11th out of that, apparently. I didn't think we were ahead. Mick Schumacher, his first race in the Mercedes, and he has crashed out. And he was just 1.7 seconds off the lead, off his teammate at the time. So Mick Schumacher was running in 2nd place and crashed out of this race. Did Giovinazzi, who was only a 10th off, meaning they were probably side by side, did he cause the crash? Or did Schumacher crash on his own? We'll never know. But there is Mick Schumacher on the exit there, and away he goes. Alright, I am going full conserve mode here on these tires and this fuel. There's still 1 lap left. Let's go ahead and let that go. I know this is making my tires really cold. I will have to heat them back up, but we've got some time for that. Got a whole lap to get around here. Okay, I think we will right here. push, try to bring those temperatures back up. Temperature's starting to rise a little bit, and we've got almost a lap worth of fuel, and it's going to go back on high and high now as we are about to get things started. We're still backed up here. Herta in 11th, Verstappen is 13th, so we are already just outside of the points early in this race, and we are racing again. ERS though by Carlos Sainz Jr. moves him back up into 11th. Haven't even touched Max's yet. Tires still a little cold as well. There's Buchanan getting passed up. Surprised how high he is. I'm going to look here on the straightaway to get Herta around him. So we're going to go overtake. And Herta has crashed. Really? No wonder it freaked out on me. Herta crashed. Herta has crashed. And here is Verstappen trying to make a move around the outside. He makes it stick. And he's going to go for a double overtake. He is now up beside Buchanan. And he makes it work. So he gets around Buchanan and Sainz both. And is up into the points. So we now have a one-car racer here in Max Verstappen. We've got the car up into the happy zone now, and we are coming around, and we're in a good position to get around Harold here on the straight with plenty of ERS. Good blocking move by Harold there. We use up most of the ERS though, and do complete the move and get a chance here on another run. And there you go. We move for the second time a double pass. This time we get around Harold and Ocon and up into 8th place. And look at that. We are now 3rd best of all those on the softs. And remember, all these guys on the super softs are almost certainly on a 2-stopper. Van Doren, just ahead of us, is going to be on a 2-stopper. Let's go ahead and go back to medium, though. We've got lots of spare fuel, but let's go ahead and make that some more. Ooh, look at that run he's got there. Little ERS to defend. So Herta out of this race. That was bad for him, but Max in good position here in 7th place as Stoffel Van Doren did stop that time. You can see just how far back he is as the first car to make a stop in this race. Let's defend. Let's go back up to high. I'm going to have to drop to neutral, though, on those tires before they get too hot. Okay, just a little hint of ERS. We're going to put some others away. Nobody else pit that time. There are just 4 cars at the top that have super softs still on their cars. And as close as it is, guaranteed all 4 of them are going to drop well down the grid. Things are stacking up behind me, but it seems that it's more Harold holding everyone up than it is me. There's a little bit of a gap between us. Harold is in the Williams? Yes, yeah. Ocon's got the faster car, but he's on the mediums. Verstappen, we survive that time and keep the ERS. Tire temps have not gone too hot. We're on lap 10. Remember, we need to get 12 out of this stint at least so that we can get to the end of the race on 11 laps to go. And thanks to the safety car, we should be in a good position to defend. Okay, we defend 1 spot. But Harold gets around. Harold actually has a problem on just lap 11, so Harold's going to have a long pit stop. So it's not so bad that Harold's getting away from us there. But we're going to have to drop down here. It's lap 11 at 31%. I'll let this drop just a little bit here, just for a moment. Recover a little bit. We're doing really good on the fuel wear. Now let's step it back up. Okay, a little ERS to defend, and we hold the position for now. That is Carlos Sainz. That is trying to make a move on us. And here come those cars in the pits. And wow, look at them. They're all repairing parts. Everybody but Leclerc. So it's going to be lengthy stops, and this could put us ahead of all of those top cars, as they might not make the distance. Really surprised though that they made it that far on super softs before they had to come in, as this is the lap that we are set to pit. Speaking of, we are now going to attack and drop that down to medium, and then we're going to set pit. We're going to come in from 4th place. We're going to put on softs to go the rest of the way. Car's in fairly good shape, but that suspension's hurting. Our suspension's pretty weak to begin with on Max's car. I think maybe by the next race we will have a new one, as the suspension is what we've been working on. But there's the 20%. He's going to drop off here just before coming down pit road. So really lucked out on that. You can see his pace was still pretty good. So he comes in from 4th place, but he was really in, what was it, 7th, 8th? And he comes out in 15th. Okay, so big check here. So Matsushita just pit as well, and he's 5 seconds back. Newgarden and Giovinazzi have gone behind us due to their car repairs. Of course, Harry and Schumacher are already out. So Norris, who was the race leader, is still about 5 seconds ahead. Van Dorn, who pit a while ago on mediums, is well ahead, but he's going to be slower as he's got used mediums already. But Perez and Leclerc have done really well. So that puts us about 5th of all of these guys, and these other cars are all going to be pitting pretty soon. At least the softs are going to pit in the next lap or two. So check it back in, Max. We're at 92%. We are using up that little bit extra, and we're going to want to push ERS this time. There's a huge gap to Lando Norris. So those 4 guys that have already pit, I'm not catching any of them unless Van Dorn ends up having to pit, as those mediums are fairly used, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. Here we go. 4 cars are into the pits. I'm going to start that push a little bit, and oh, I went too early. There we go. Go, 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 go. Ooh, we just come out ahead of Marilainen. Nice. All the way ahead of Marilainen there. So, oh, he's the only one we got ahead of, though. So Margasov comes out well ahead. Harrell comes out ahead, and we had been just behind Harrell before the pits. So there's a few seconds between us now. Nordstrom's about to pit. Nordstrom's in now and doing a part repair. So there's 12th place. But we're going to have a battle on our hands to try to keep it, as Marilainen is definitely faster in the McLaren. Much faster, actually. To defend. Nope. Marilainen uses the RS to finish the move, and that drops us to 13th. Nakashita, we still got, what, 3-4 cars that haven't pit. My problem is if everybody does a one-stopper, I've got no advantage. My advantage is if cars have to do a 2-stopper, right? So we are in 13th. These tires should be pretty good to go, as we've been on neutral here throughout. So in that sense, we're going to be good. But here comes Carlos Sainz Jr. With a head of steam. Remember, Sainz was on mediums, so Sainz had that advantage, and we'll defend while we can, but it looks like it's not going to stick. Let's try to push a little bit, see if we can open up a little bit of a gap, and we do. Yes, nice. So again, we're holding in 13th, but the Renaults, we might get past them. There's only a 10-second difference between us. Siamsol, Buchanan, wow, still up there. Ocon's still up there. So those, 5 cars that haven't pit yet, I could get past all of them. So we could be looking at a virtual 8th place as close as the grid is. And then battling with signs to hang on to that. Oh, yellow flag here. And George Russell has crashed out of this race before pitting. Okay, let's go conserve for a little bit. Bring those tire temps down so I've got a little bit of room to work with as we have opened up a little bit of gap to Carlos Sainz. So he's obviously had to change his strategy here. He is pushing right now, though. So he's pushing pretty heavily. 3 cars out of this race is really benefiting us. Oh, push, push, push. And we are into 10th place. We're actually up into 9th as Ocon and Siamsol have both pit. They are out on super softs, but there's enough of a gap that we might be able to hold them. But here comes Joseph Newgarden from behind on very, very used softs, but in the Ferrari. See just how much more pace he has than the rest of us, despite the used tires. And Verstappen, with 3 laps to go here, is in a good position, but the 2 battling behind me, luckily, is helping me out. We move up to 8th. There is Nakashita into the pits. And that's everybody. That is everybody. Van Dorn is going to probably go the distance. So we are up into 8th as predicted. But you got Newgarden, you got Ocon, and Carlos Sainz. And luckily, all 3 of them are battling right now. Let's go back to neutral. And as long as Sainz is ahead, I'm in good shape. Ocon gets past him, though. Ocon on the super softs has made it around both cars. Yeah, ignore. Use a little ERS. 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go. And tires 38%. We've got 42 spare fuel. I think Ocon's going to be too much for us. We're going to turn up the mode a little bit here. Try to defend. Just for a moment. We do get a run here. No, Ocon's going to make it around. So that is 9th. We are down to 9th. But Newgarden's tires are so used that his pace has really dropped off. Same with Carlos Sainz. Push, attack. Whoa! Carlos Sainz out of nowhere just flew past us. And now on the final lap, we are going to go full attack mode, overtake. We are down to 10th. We are just hanging on. Here comes the Ferrari. We've got an inside look to retake 9th. There goes our ERS. Our ERS is gone. But we make the move stick. We are up to 9th place here. 9th place. We've got that little bit of ERS. We will use it down the front straight as we can. We've got an extra 10th of a lap, and here we go for 9th place. Can we hang on? Yes, we do. 9th place, a couple points for Max Verstappen. Newly acquired driver. Great job from him to stay ahead of Sainz, to stay ahead of Newgarden. Couldn't stay ahead of Ocon, though, but that's still a great finish. Meanwhile, Margasov, the new Red Bull driver replacing Max Verstappen, gets the race win. But every point counts, and we managed to get a couple. And that's on a one-stop strategy, too. Everybody ran a one-stopper. Okay, here comes the scrutineering. Could anybody get nailed, dropped down? No. No penalties anywhere. So, we grab 2 points. That's an accomplishment. Moving on up for Max. He stays in 3rd place for now. And Max gets his first 2 points for the team. And look how tight it is with us, Renault, and Haas. There's now a huge gap to Toro Rosso, Williams, McLaren, Force India, who are all very, very close in the midfield. But the back of the grid is a tight competition in its own. You might remember last season, we were down a tier. But last season, the bottom 3 teams had less points than Haas combined right now. So this is a totally different story than a year ago, where the top was very dominant. The midfield very much was getting in the points consistently, and the bottom was not. And yet this year, there is so much competition to not be last place. But we're up to 32 points now, so another couple points gained. A little bit closer, but we're only just past halfway, so there's a long, long ways to go in this season. But with 2 good drivers and 2 developing cars, hopefully I can start getting that couple of points here and there more frequently to stay ahead of Renault and Haas. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.